Life's a grind, no doubt about it. And if you've been around long enough, you know that things don't always go according to plan. Sometimes life sucker punches you so hard, it feels like you've been hit by a freight train. You lose your job, your relationship goes down the drain, or maybe you just wake up one day feeling like everything you've been doing is pointless. Tough times, they happen to everyone. But the difference between those who crumble and those who come out stronger is one thing: resilience. Resilience is that gritty, no-nonsense ability to get back up after life knocks you down. It's not about being the toughest guy in the room or pretending that nothing can hurt you. It's about knowing that, yeah, things are going to suck sometimes, but you can handle it. You can push through, even when every part of you wants to throw in the towel. First off, let's get one thing straight. Life doesn't give a damn about your feelings. The world isn't going to stop spinning just because you're having a bad day. Life is going to keep throwing crap your way, whether you like it or not. And you have two choices: either sit there and whine about it, or get up and do something about it. Resilience is all about making that choice, time and time again, no matter how bad things get. Now, let's talk about why building resilience is so damn important. You see, tough times are inevitable. If you think you're going to cruise through life without hitting any bumps, you're in for a rude awakening. Whether it's losing a loved one, getting fired, or dealing with a global pandemic, life is going to test you. And when it does, you'd better be ready. Because if you're not, those tough times will eat you alive. But here's the thing: resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, like a muscle. And just like with any muscle, if you don't work on it, it's going to be weak. So, if you want to survive the tough times, you need to start building that resilience now, not when you're already knee-deep in trouble. So how do you do that? Well, first, you need to accept that life isn't fair. Yeah, I said it. Life isn't fair, and it never will be. You can bitch and moan all you want about how things should be, but that's not going to change reality. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you can stop wasting energy on things you can't control. Instead, focus on what you can control: your attitude, your actions, and your mindset. A big part of building resilience is learning how to deal with failure. And let me tell you, failure is a hell of a teacher. When you fail, you get a front row seat to all your weaknesses and mistakes. And yeah, it's going to hurt like hell. But that pain is valuable because it shows you exactly what you need to work on. If you're too afraid to fail, you're never going to grow. So embrace failure, learn from it, and use it as fuel to get better. Another thing you need to understand is that no one is coming to save you. Yeah, that's right. No one is going to swoop in and fix your problems for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not the government, and certainly not some motivational speaker on YouTube. If you want to get through tough times, you've got to rely on yourself. That means taking responsibility for your life and your actions. Stop waiting for someone else to solve your problems and start figuring out how to solve them yourself. And while we're on the topic of taking responsibility, let's talk about self-discipline. You see, resilience and self-discipline go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. If you don't have the self-discipline to keep going when things get tough, you're not going to be resilient. Period. Self-discipline is what keeps you moving forward when every part of you wants to quit. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning when you'd rather stay under the covers and hide from the world. And it's what helps you stay focused on your goals, even when life is trying to knock you off course. But let's be real, self-discipline isn't easy. It's not some magic pill you can take that will suddenly make you a motivated, unstoppable force. It's something you have to work on every single day. And yeah, some days you're going to fail. You're going to hit the snooze button, skip your workout, or procrastinate on that important project. But the key is to not let those slip-ups derail you. You've got to get back on track and keep pushing forward, even when you don't feel like it. And here's a little hard truth for you. If you don't have self-discipline, you're going to have a really hard time building resilience. Because without self-discipline, you're not going to have the mental toughness to keep going when things get tough. You're going to give up at the first sign of trouble, and that's not going to get you anywhere. So if you want to build resilience, you need to start by building self-discipline. One of the best ways to build self-discipline is to start setting small, achievable goals for yourself. Don't try to change everything at once, because that's just going to set you up for failure. Instead, pick one thing you want to work on and focus on that. Maybe it's getting up 30 minutes earlier every day, or cutting out junk food, or spending 10 minutes a day meditating. Whatever it is, start small and build from there. As you start to achieve those small goals, you'll build confidence and momentum, which will help you tackle bigger challenges down the road. Another important aspect of building resilience is learning how to manage stress. Because let's face it, tough times are stressful. And if you don't know how to handle that stress, it's going to eat you alive. Stress is like a ticking time bomb. If you don't defuse it, it's going to blow up in your face. So you need to find ways to manage your stress before it gets out of control. There are a lot of different ways to manage stress, and what works for one person might not work for another. But some tried and true methods include exercise, meditation, deep breathing, and spending time in nature. The key is to find something that helps you relax and clear your mind, so you can approach your problems with a calm, focused mindset. And while we're talking about stress, let's not forget about the importance of taking care of your body. Because if you're not physically healthy, you're not going to be mentally tough. That means eating right, getting enough sleep, and staying active. I know it sounds basic, but it's amazing how many people neglect their physical health and then wonder why they're stressed out and miserable all the time. Your body and mind are connected, so if you want to be resilient, you've got to take care of both. Now, let's get into something that most people don't want to talk about: the people you surround yourself with. If you're hanging out with a bunch of negative, toxic people who are always complaining and dragging you down, you're going to have a hard time building resilience. Because let's be real, negativity is contagious. If you're constantly surrounded by people who are always whining about how unfair life is, it's going to rub off on you. And before you know it, you're going to be just as negative and miserable as they are. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with positive, motivated people who are always looking for solutions instead of complaining about problems, you're going to start adopting that mindset too. So take a good hard look at the people you're spending time with. Are they helping you build resilience, or are they holding you back? If it's the latter, it might be time to start distancing yourself from those people and finding a new circle of friends who lift you up instead of dragging you down. And let's not forget about the importance of gratitude. Yeah, I know it sounds cheesy, but it's true. When you're going through tough times, it's easy to get caught up in all the things that are going wrong and forget about the things that are going right. But if you want to build resilience, you've got to train yourself to focus on the positives, even when everything seems to be falling apart. Because no matter how bad things get, there's always something to be grateful for. It might be something small, like a sunny day or a kind word from a friend, but it's there if you look for it. Gratitude is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So make it a habit to take a few minutes every day to think about the things you're grateful for. Write them down if you have to. And when you're going through a tough time, remind yourself of those things. It won't magically make your problems disappear, but it will help you keep things in perspective and give you the strength to keep going. Now, let's talk about the role of purpose in building resilience. If you don't have a sense of purpose, you're going to have a hard time getting through tough times. Because when the going gets tough, you need something to hold on to, something that gives your life meaning and makes the struggle worth it. That's where purpose comes in. Your purpose is your why, the reason you get out of bed in the morning, the thing that drives you to keep going even when you want to quit. Finding your purpose isn't always easy, and it's not something that happens overnight. But it's worth the effort. Your purpose doesn't have to be some grand, world-changing mission. It can be something simple, like taking care of your family, pursuing a passion, or helping others. Whatever it is, it's something that gives your life direction and motivates you to keep pushing forward even when life gets tough. And here's the thing, your purpose might change over time, and that's okay. The important thing is to have something that gives you a sense of meaning and keeps you focused on the bigger picture. Because when you have a strong sense of purpose, you're more likely to stay resilient in the face of adversity. You're more likely to see tough times as temporary challenges rather than insurmountable obstacles. And you're more likely to keep moving forward even when the road gets rough. But let me be clear, finding your purpose isn't some magic cure-all for life's problems. It's not going to make tough times any less tough. But it will give you a reason to keep going, even when you're tired, frustrated, and ready to throw in the towel. And that's what resilience is all about, pushing through the pain, the setbacks, and the failures, because you know there's something worth fighting for on the other side. At the end of the day, building resilience is about taking control of your life and refusing to be a victim. It's about facing tough times head-on and refusing to let them break you. It's about developing the mental toughness, self-discipline, and grit to keep going, no matter what life throws your way. And it's about understanding that, yeah, life is going to be hard sometimes. But you can handle it. You can get through it. And you can come out stronger on the other side. So if you're going through a tough time right now, don't give up. Don't let it beat you down. Take a deep breath, get back up, and keep fighting. Because you're stronger than you think. And no matter how bad things get, you've got the power to get through it. You've got the power to build resilience, to rise above the challenges, and to come out on top. So start building that resilience today, because tough times aren't going anywhere. But with the right mindset, you can handle whatever life throws your way.